No clickbaity title, no surprise ending, no weird Shyamalan style twist. It's gone. The camera that I was so incredibly happy to be able to afford, the camera that I took with me everywhere, that most of the work between 2017 and now was photographed on, it is now the property of somebody else. How did this happen? In June 2017, I purchased the Fuji XPro2 after my Fuji XT-1 was stolen while I was working on a job in Southern California, where I currently am now. It was the first time and the only time I used GoFundMe to try to raise funds to replace it. And in less than a day, I was able to raise enough funds to buy a secondhand XPro2. And it arrived in June of 2017. And ever since I got that camera, 95% of the videos on this channel up until I would say maybe early 2019 were shot. The video was shot on that camera. Most of my digital work between 2017 and now was done on the XPro2. Every single trip I've ever been on, that camera has come with me. And some of my favorite work that I've ever done, film or digital, was shot on that camera. I was pretty sure I would never part with that thing. Right now as I record this, it's Sunday, January 31st, 2021. Just this morning at 10 a.m., I went down to Kumquat Coffee and met up with a nice young man named Howard who Venmo'd me some money, and I handed him my XPro2. And it was kind of surreal. A lot of you who've been following this channel for a long time know that that camera was like my desert island favorite camera of all time. So some of you might be really surprised that I would sell that camera at all. Why now? Well, we'll get into that. First, I am drinking coffee out of a little small Heath tumbler. It's nothing crazy though. It's just the Khalifa mocha cold brew again. It's like, I don't know, it's like 3 in the afternoon. I'm not making coffee right now. Getting the XPro2 was a huge step in my career. It was my first serious digital camera. It was the first digital camera that had professional features. The fact of the matter is, I just don't need it right now. I'm shooting this video right now on my Fuji XT-3, which has become my workhorse. This camera is absolutely incredible and so capable. I just got back from the Bay Area. I was down there for a week and a half shooting this lookbook for a fashion company. And the entire thing was shot with my XT3. All my videos now are shot on the XT3. It's just like an all-around really great camera. As far as other cameras I have, I've got the Rolleiflex, I got my RB67, I've got my Nikon F2. I'm pretty set on cameras. That's not to say that the XPro2 didn't fit in there, but I found myself using it less and less, mostly because everything else I'm doing, I kind of got my ground covered. And then I sold my 35mm f2, which was the lens that pretty much lived on that camera. And then once I sold that lens with the intention of buying the 23mm f2, which I then changed my mind on, it just seemed kind of unbalanced with the kit lens, the 18-55 on it. It's just, that camera really needs small lenses for it to like kind of make sense. And I started to think about what I use that camera for. It's mostly like a walking around like snapshot camera, which is totally fine, nothing wrong with that. But I don't do much walking around and snap shooting these days. And then I started to think about what I wanted. and what I needed for work ahead of time. Coming up, I've got some more lifestyle and editorial work coming my way. A lot of it I'll be able to shoot with film. Then the actual decision to sell my XPro2 came when I had the realization that with the work that I'm shooting now, the stuff that I'm making in the very near future, and the work that I want to be doing in the future, there's a film camera that I used to own that I really, really wanted another one of because I regretted selling it really, really badly when I first did it in the first place. And, I thought, I'll just buy another camera and then I'll have everything I need. I'll have an XT-3 for digital stuff and for tethering. I'll have my RB67 for most work, and I'll have my new camera for other stuff with my work. But then I kind of thought, I have this weird attachment to that camera, which isn't wrong. It's just keeping me from utilizing it in the way that it should be. And by that, I mean, if I'm not using it, why am I holding on to it? Then I thought, if I sell it, then I can really justify buying another film camera. If I really want another XPro2 in the future, I can go buy one. And so that was kind of the justification for getting rid of it. What I'm trying to do is really cut down on the extraneous stuff that I don't really need. I'm going on a big trip at the end of February where I'm going to be bringing my XT3 and 1 or 2 film cameras on, and I just don't think I need the XPro2 on that trip because it's just an extra digital camera. I don't need 2. I'm going to be bringing the XT3 so I can make videos. That really sold me on it. Realizing that I had upcoming things that this camera is really going to shine in, that the XPro2 is going to have to sit out on the sidelines for. And that kind of brings me to my wider point. Having an attachment to a piece of gear or a camera, that's okay. There's a lot of reasons that people have sentimentality towards inanimate objects. It's not a foreign concept. It's not weird. I collect these Heath mugs. I have a few pairs of pants that I'm really fond of. But at some point, that sentimentality can slow you down and really kind of provide more of a hindrance than a help in some situations. And I think I'm very lucky that I'm able to see that what that XPro2 was really as an opportunity. At the time when I bought it, it was an opportunity for me to grow as a photographer, grow with my work, to expand my abilities, be able to shoot in a digital realm and edit and figure all that stuff out. And the opportunity for the XPro2 now is that I can leverage the value of that camera for a new camera that's going to help me on my next part of my journey as a photographer, which I think is something that's kind of important. Recognizing when you have something like a piece of gear or a camera or a film stock or whatever that is kind of like a crutch that you lean on, that isn't providing you direction with your work. It's just kind of like keeping you comfortable. And if you have that, again, that's okay. But being able to recognize when you're being hindered by comfort and being able to kind of like push yourself out of your comfort zone and move in a direction that's going to help you grow as a photographer or an artist or whatever, that's almost more valuable than the best camera you can buy. So yeah, this morning I said goodbye to my beloved XPro2. I think it is a temporary goodbye. I really, truly believe that in the future I will end up picking up another XPro2 when it makes sense that I can have that camera and not worry about it being just a paperweight on a shelf, something that I'll be able to use and not feel guilty that's just sitting around. And in the meantime, I'm picking up, like I said, a new camera that is really going to be taking me to my next chapter of my work. That's really going to be central in what I'm doing next. And that camera is going to be revealed when it gets here. It will be arriving from KEH, I think on Wednesday, where I will do an unboxing because I've never done an unboxing and they look so fun. So I want to do that. I will give you one hint. It is a camera that I've owned before, and it is a camera that I regret selling, and I should never have sold it in the first place. And it is a film camera, and that's all I'm going to say. You can leave your guesses in the comments below if you'd like. You can tell me I'm a fool for letting the XPro2 go. You can tell me if you have a camera that you decided to let go, or another piece of gear that you thought was your favorite thing, and then you decided that in order to grow as a photographer or a videographer or filmmaker or whatever, you let it go and you felt bad, but then you recognized it was for the greater good. And I would love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear what you have an attachment to, and I'd love to hear how it contributes to your growth as a photographer. So please let me know in the comments. From 2017 to 2021, that's a pretty good run for a piece of gear. Yeah, when I bought that camera, I think it was around 1200 actuations. I have it when I sold it 12,000. So I shot this camera quite a bit. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm really excited for my new camera to show up. Like I said, I'll be doing an unboxing video when that happens. I'm super excited for this camera to show up because it's something that I think is really going to be helpful and really going to be useful in the coming work. And it's just going to be refreshing doing something different for a little while. I think this is going to be an interesting turn for my career, for my work, because, you know, I'm such an RB67 fanboy, but I needed something a little more conducive to handheld shooting. And I think that this camera is going to be just exactly what I needed. I'm not going to give you any more hints. That's a lot of hints. You're not going to guess. You might guess. If you get it right in the comments, I'll shout you out in the next video, but you're not going to get it right. All right. Thank you. Have a great day. I guess this is Monday. I think this is being released on. So have a great day. Have a great week. I'll see you in the next video for the unboxing. Goodbye.